what do you see, or what have been the responses that you have received from your book thus far?
Yeah, that's a fair question. So it's there has been a spectrum. I've gotten a lot of people who have thanked me for, as we talked about earlier, for giving a vocabulary to things that they have felt, and that's been really affirming, because my favorite books have done that very thing. I mean, we mentioned Chuck Taylor, Charles Taylor, and actually Jacques Ellul. Those are two authors who gave me names for things that I felt intuitively, but I couldn't piece together, and I didn't understand, and I love that, and so that's been really affirming. There have been some people who have made some comparisons to Capic, and that's been really flattering, because Capic's
Is it
fantastic.
Capic? I've been saying Capic. It's Capic.
I don't know. Now you've got me doubting. Now you've got me doubting.
That's the first question I'm going to ask him tomorrow. Is it Capic or Capic? Okay, KK.
Anyway, Kelly.
Kelly.
I know Kelly. And some to Truman, some overlap with Truman's book, and so that's been interesting. There's been some some criticism, some just about the wordiness. So it was interesting saying it was compact. I'm a compact writer.
Yeah.
Writing is an interesting process, because you
Mhm.
just get a spectrum. Some have said it's too academic, and some have said it's not academic enough. And so you just say, okay, yes,
Yeah.
you're right.
No,
It's not an academic book.
it's not an academic book, but a buddy of mine, he's like, I want more footnotes. I want more footnotes. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean,
everybody's got their thing, everybody's got their thing.
I understand. Yeah.
But it's a labor of love. What now that the book is out, and you wrote it when? I mean, when did you actually write it?
I don't know. That's a great question. I mean, I think the idea started percolating in 2019, and so maybe started 2019, 2020. When did it come out? Last year? Yeah. So 2019 through 2020, I think. I don't know that I wish I would have done anything different. And here's the reason I say that, is because the only thing I could have done different would be to spend an infinite amount of time on it, right? So for example, I found this fantastic quote from C.S. Lewis just recently that fit exactly what I'm talking about. But I found lots of other quotes from other people that could have fit in the book as well, and I could have included. But that could go on forever. And I also could have improved the quotes, or the prose, and I could have tightened things up and expanded on sections and cut things and improve things. But one of the things I've learned as a writer is that you just have to turn in things. And I don't regret anything in the book. I don't, there's nothing in it that I think, gosh, that was dumb, or I really needed to clarify that, or there's nothing like that in the book. There are lots of things that I wish that I could have improved on, but they're all things that I could spend the rest of my life, like I could just keep polishing forever. And so if I say that I could have improved the prose, what I'm really saying to you right now is that my next book I should never turn in. And so that's why I can't say that. I have to just turn stuff in. I just got to turn stuff in. And every time I turn stuff in, what's funny about this book, and this is true with each of my books. What's funny about this book is that when I started, I was like, I love this idea. Like I believe in this idea, and I still really, really believe in this idea. And I believe that this idea is really important. And I thought to myself, I don't know that I'm the person to write this, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to pull it off. but I really believe in this idea. And when I turned it in, I still felt like, like your friend's comments with the footnotes. It's like, there are things that I could have done that could have made this a really great book. But one of my most encouraging lines, I'm abandoning that sentence. I'm like you with the cough. I'm abandoning that sentence. One of my most encouraging lines are from T.S. Eliot, and it's about the subject of writing. He's actually talking about writing. At this time, he's the best poet, the most renowned poet in the 20th century in the English language. And he says, for us, there is only the trying. The rest is not our business. And that's what keeps me going, and that's why I turn stuff in instead of just polishing forever. Is I have to just say, this is not the great book that was in my head, which is like way up here. That was perfect. I know there's this great book that would have been a masterpiece and that lives up to the idea, but I'm going to turn in the book that I can turn in because I have to spend time with my family, and that's okay. So I feel your friends' concerns. I feel the comments from people who are like, it's too wordy. I'm like, yeah. The people who are like, it's not academic. I'm like, I hear you. You're right. It should have been more academic. And the people who are like, it's too academic. I'm like, well, I don't know about that one, but yeah, I know, I understand. One of the things is there have been a number of people who say, the beginning is too dark. And I understand. I do ask a lot of the reader, we talked earlier about asking them to sort of descend before I give them that hope. And that was something I wrestled a lot with. I tried to give some gospel hope at the end of each chapter, in the first few chapters, because I ask you to sit through 3 or 4 chapters before I get to you belong to Christ, and that's the ultimate hope. But the reason I did that was because I thought, okay, we need to, as I said earlier, we need to look squarely at the face of this problem in order for us to get through it. So